When Marco was 8 years old, he called fish in the sea to meet where he was playing his traditional bamboo flute, and his clan members caught a total of 1,000 plus fish during that time. In the third part of this series, it talks about how Marco called different types of birds and foxes to meet where he was blowing his flute. When Marco was 9 years old, he continued to live with his grandmother. His grandfather taught him to design and play traditional bamboo flute when he was 7 years old, and just after teaching him, he died. Once upon a time, Marco's half-brother by the name of Warpison came to visit Marco. He came from a village on the other part of the island, which is very far from Marco's village. He came to see Marco purposely to confirm it himself because the outbreaking news for what Marco did with his traditional bamboo flute reached the entire Pacific region and went all the way to him, and he was surprised. However, Warpison met Marco and said, "I heard the outbreaking news of what you have done with your traditional bamboo flute and came here to see you and confirm it myself. Yes, it's true." "My brother," said Marco, "people came from different parts of the province to witness it themselves during the island cultural festivals and have ate the fish, but the big number of fish was still left." "Brother, that was what I heard, and I just picked up few clothes and came here to see you," Warpison asked Marco. "Brother, can you and I paddle the canoe out into the sea and you blow your flute, and I have to see it myself?" Marco replied and said, "Brother, I don't want to repeat the same thing. Think about something else." "Okay, brother, I am thinking about something now." "Say it, brother," Marco asked. Warpison said, "If you agree, we both can go to the nearby bush right on the hill and you call the birds." Marco agreed and said, "Brother, let's go. It's a good idea." Marco picked up his traditional bamboo flute and led Warpison, and they both climbed the hill and went to the top of the hill. While both of them were climbing the hill, Marco told Warpison, "If I blow my flute and the birds start showing up, you have to use your mobile phone to get some photos so that you can show to people as your proof and evidence." "Okay, brother, I'll do that," Warpison replied, and they continued their journey. When they reached the top of the hill, Marco took out his bamboo flute from his bag and started blowing a masterpiece which his grandfather taught him. All of a sudden, they saw foxes and birds started flying above the top of the hill, and diving down to where they were standing, Warpison saw groups of birds flying down and started sitting on the branches of the trees, singing, jumping, and playing around, and quietly smiled with a big smiling face and started taking photos. After these has happened, Warpison whispered to Marco and said, "This time, I proved it myself with my own literal eyes that you are very special, my brother." When Marco stopped playing his flute, the birds and foxes slowly left the place and flew away. This is the story of how Marco called the birds and foxes to meet where he was playing his traditional bamboo flute. The fourth part of this series will be released after 1 week.